Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another movie review. Today, I'm going to be covering Coco, the new animated movie that came out this year, and it was pretty anticipated because it looked amazingly animated and written and everything from the trailers, and it turned out to be just as good as people expected it. I'm not sure if it exceeded expectations because I wasn't personally someone who's anticipating it, but I really enjoyed myself when I went to see this movie. Um, to start things off, my uh, point of view was likely screwed when I saw this movie because I had to sit in an IMAX theater in the very front row. So you know what that means, looking up at a 20-degree angle, not optimal in any shape or form. But I did get used to it, so it didn't affect the visuals really, but I did end up getting a headache. Although that isn't the movie's fault. Um, so, for summary, the story of Coco follows a young boy in Mexico named Miguel, who has a very large family who all make shoes. And they make shoes because generations and generations ago, I think it's Miguel's great great grandfather, who left their family to pursue music instead of staying with them. And so his great great grandmother banned music from the family, and they all started making shoes instead. And Miguel really wants to be a musician. He has a guitar. He looks up to this famous musician named De La Cruz. And one day during the Dia de los Muertos, he finds that there's a talent show going on in the main square, and he decides that he wants to join it. And his family would never let him, of course. And they break his guitar, and he goes and he steals the guitar of De La Cruz, who I can't remember the first name of. And when he steals the guitar, he turns into some sort of ghoul. He's invisible to the living world, but he can see the spirits of the ancestors that are visiting the families on the Day of the Dead. And that's where the story goes. He meets a lot of really interesting skeleton characters in the underworld. There is a crazy dog named Diego. He has a very large family who are all very interesting, and he meets his dead family uh, later on. So that's the summary. It's actually a very clever idea. I like the uh, idea of using the living and the dead in one movie. But so now for my review. I didn't write down very many notes for this because I wanted to make this a short review. But my very biggest point for this is Miguel is not a very good main character. He has really annoying moments where he's just flat out obnoxious, and he doesn't have good dialogue sometimes unless he's talking with another interesting character. But when he's on his own, he's sort of just generic and upbeat and can be bratty and obnoxious. So I wasn't a fan of that character side of him. But this movie is probably one of the best looking animated films I've ever seen in my life. There are huge worlds with tons and tons of details, and I saw a clip before the movie that said there was something like 3 million lights in the main city in the underworld, and it's really impressive. The colors are beautiful. There's always oranges and pinks and blues and browns, and it really is. It is the most graphically impressive animated film I've ever seen. Um, there are some very predictable dialogue moments, ones that fall into cliches where you're like, oh well, I've seen that before in other movies, and that's it's a kids movie, so I need to expect some of those. But they came at times where I was expecting something fresh, and it just went cliche, and it frustrated me when it happened. I sort of rubbed my head. I'm like, yep, yeah, that I've seen that before. Um, Another negative point. Uh, I feel like they should have made the family smaller. There are like 18 living and dead family members plus Miguel. it's ridiculous. There, like maybe five or six of them get actual character development, and those that do are very interesting and well designed and are great characters. But there are just a bunch of background characters who exist to make Miguel's family large, and it sort of distracts from the main point of the story and the few characters that are really important. Um, there are some really good plot twists, though. The main plot twist in the movie, which comes 3/4 of the way through it, ends up leading into another plot twist and then a great final conflict, which all are pretty surprising, and I've actually never heard of any kind of plot twists like that. And my final major point is this movie is filled with music. Songs sung by the Kid, songs sung by De La Cruz, and I usually don't like songs in movies. There are a few exceptions. Most of the Moana songs I like. I like Another Day of Sun from La La Land. But Coco really surprised me because the kid who voiced Miguel, I'm not sure who it is, but he has a great voice when he's singing. He's not annoying when he's singing. He does a great job. He has some duets with other characters, and it really impressed me. So at the end, I'm going to give Coco an 8.9 out of 10. It was not necessarily my favorite animated movie that I've seen. I still think I prefer things like Wall-E and Toy Story, but it impressed me more than I thought it would. So that's going to be it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe for more daily reviews, and I will see you guys in another video. Bye.